In this video, the 5 cheapest countries in Latin America. We're going to be breaking down the 5 countries with the lowest cost of living where your dollars will stretch the furthest and you can use geo-arbitrage to your advantage. One disclaimer before we jump into our list of the 5 cheapest countries is that a common thread in Latin America is there are certain categories of products that are more expensive anywhere you go in Latin America. This will include brand new cars, iPhones, laptops, imported food, and tons of other little random things like electronics you will find to be more expensive in Latin America than the US, because basically the US is the cheapest place to get electronics other than Shenzhen or Hong Kong or something. So with that asterisk out of the way in terms of some categories of things being more expensive in Latin America, I'm sure you're aware that overall the cost of living is much less in Latin America. Housing is cheaper, food is cheaper, transportation is cheaper, healthcare is cheaper. Overall, you can expect a higher standard of living in Latin America on only a fraction of what you spend per month in North America. So without any further ado, let's jump into the 5 cheapest countries in Latin America. So we're going to be moving from north to south on our list of cheapest countries. And the first country we're going to talk about is Nicaragua. Nicaragua is the cheapest country in Central America, and by extension, the cheapest country in North America as well. People find Nicaragua to only be a fraction of the cost of living of its neighbors, El Salvador, Costa Rica, and Panama. By all accounts, Nicaragua is the cheapest country in Central America, where rent is lower, food is lower, and basically all necessities of life you're going to be finding at a much lower price than the rest of Central America. So if you are looking for an option that is close to the United States, close to Canada, and you don't want to move into South America because our other 4 options are in South America, then the only North American option on our top 5 cheapest countries list is Nicaragua, and you can investigate Nicaragua further. Next country on our list is Colombia. Many of our listeners have been to Colombia before, and they understand that it is a very low cost of living. Rent is cheap, the Colombian peso keeps falling, food is cheap, gyms are cheap, transportation is cheap, Uber is cheap. Overall, this is a country with a very low cost of living. You can expect to easily get by in Colombia on $1,500 a month or even $1,000 a month if you go to Tier B and Tier C cities. Of course, Bogota is going to be a little bit more expensive. Of course, some of the tourist attractions and tourist cities and neighborhoods like Poblado or Cartagena are going to be a little bit more expensive. But overall, by all reports, Colombia is one of the cheapest countries in Latin America and really one of the cheapest countries in the world. So if you are looking for a low cost of living, while also, of course, a very fun country where you are going to feel alive and energetic, Colombia might be the country for you. The next country on our list is Peru. Peru is often forgotten when we talk about lists of the cheapest countries, and people are constantly reminding us that Peru is very, very cheap, especially if you get out of Lima. If you move into Tier B and Tier C cities in Peru, you will be stunned how low rent is, how low the cost of food is, transportation, and everything that you will need. Peru is definitely overlooked in terms of a very cheap destination where you can have a high standard of living, you can be on the coast, you can enjoy beautiful sunsets while having a very low cost of living. The next country on our list is Argentina, a country famous for being plagued by hyperinflation, and the devaluation of the Argentine peso has caused Argentina to be one of the cheapest countries in Latin America, and by extension, one of the cheapest countries in the world, where you can famously enjoy $2 bottles of wine, kilos of steak for $3, $4, $5, and incredible meals, incredible lifestyle for a very low cost of living. Like any country on our list, once you get out of the capital, the cost of living is going to lower even more. So Buenos Aires, one of the cheapest capital cities in Latin America, one of the cheapest mega cities in the world. But if you are willing to get out of Buenos Aires and check out other cities such as Cordoba, Salta, Formosa, Posadas, you will find the cost of living to drop even further, probably even 50% lower than that of Buenos Aires. So Buenos Aires is cheap, low cost of living for sure. And if you are willing to go to Tier B, Tier C Argentina, you're going to experience an even lower cost of living. I think one of the cool things about Argentina is that in some of these Tier B, Tier C cities, you're experiencing kind of a European lifestyle. You got the wine, you got walkable cities, you have a relative level of safety, and the balance between low cost of living and safety and lifestyle is almost unparalleled. And for that reason, Argentina will continue to be a strong pick in the future. Note that Argentina is dollarizing, and food prices and prices overall are expected to rise. Although in some cases we've seen prices fall in recent months, the price of steak has actually fallen in some supermarkets in Argentina. So we're going to be tracking this closely, how things work as inflation starts coming down due to the implementations that Milei is currently working on. But overall, we expect Argentina to stay very cheap, low cost of living. The fifth and last country on our list is Paraguay. Paraguay is famous for being one of the lowest cost of living countries in Latin America and has a very good blend of low cost of living as well as safety, chill lifestyle, and overall decent amenities. If you've never been to Paraguay, the infrastructure, at least in Asunción, is probably better than you were expecting. Ciudad del Este, Asunción, as well as Encarnación and San Bernardino, all of these four locations experience a pretty high level of infrastructure. They've had tons of immigrants from Europe over the past century, and so you will experience a pretty high standard of living in Paraguay, in Asunción. They have high-end malls, they have incredible steakhouses, incredible grocery stores that have every product that you would ever like, and by some people's accounts, the best grocery stores in all of Latin America can be found in Paraguay due to the abundance of imported products from Brazil, Argentina, Chile, and elsewhere. Paraguay is an extremely low cost of living where you can get, a haircut for $3, $4, $5, and you'll be spending certainly only a fraction of what you'll spend in North America. So to conclude, the 5 cheapest countries in Latin America are Nicaragua, Colombia, Peru, Argentina, and Paraguay. So on this list, you'll find a good mix of lifestyles for everybody. If you enjoy mountains and jungle vibes, you might take a look at Nicaragua or Colombia. If you're looking for coffee, again, Nicaragua or Colombia. If you're looking for Pacific Coast, you might take a look at Peru. If you're looking for surfing, you might take a look at Peru. If you're looking for wine and steak, of course, Argentina has you covered. If you're looking for European lifestyle, Argentina has you covered. And if you're looking for low taxes and freedom from government intervention, then Paraguay is a standout country on this list. Nicaragua as well can be very tax friendly. So a good mix of different lifestyles, regions, climates, and cultures on this list of the 5 lowest cost of living countries in Latin America. Enjoy.